Past the pain and losses, our lives, like everyone else, have other experiences. I was so scared when I moved into this house, which had an amazing gate, but the compound was secured with chicken wire mesh. And I felt so exposed. I felt like every time I opened the door, I felt like we were being watched because we had people from across, way across, past the compound who would be seated somewhere idling. And once you open the door, you would just be naturally be a place of interest for their eyes to turn to. And so that terrified me. And soon I realized the role of being a protector in a home, what that meant. The other thing is I was so scared at night, I wouldn't sleep. This compound didn't give me a sense of security. And so being the grown up in the house and the one in charge of security in terms of my family, I was terrified. And so one time I shared my fears with another single parent, another mom, and she gave me ideas, and she said, when I became a single parent, this is what my dad said to me. He said, find glass bottles and put water in them, then place them at the door, at the bottom of the door, and if you could, hang one somewhere, so that if by any chance someone tries to open your door when you're asleep, the door will knock over the bottles, causing them to hit the ground and producing what would sound like gunshots, therefore scaring the perpetrators. That was hilarious. By the way, had I bottles in my house, I would have taken that advice. I got more advice later to leave lights on in certain rooms, like in the sitting room, in the kitchen, and just try and sleep and give the impression that whoever is in that house is still awake at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So our lives are interesting. We have those moments and they're real, because that fear I had of knowing that I am the protector in this home was real, and I didn't know what else to do. We also have creepy experiences. I wanted to take a shower once in the same house, the same place where this compound didn't feel safe. I went to the bathroom, turned on the shower, and soon I started hearing sounds like banging against the wall. Yeah? And I stopped the water running, and I listened, and it stopped. So I turned on the shower again, and after a while, the same sounds went on. And this time, I looked up the small window in the bathroom, and what I saw was two hands, someone trying to pull themselves over so that they can peep. I guess that's a peeping Tom. And so that was terrifying. I screamed. It was really, really creepy. Of course, dressed up, left the house, went round feeling very charged, ready to find who this was, but there was no finding out who it was. They must have just gone under the fence. Another creepy experience in the same house, same compound. One time my kitchen window broke. There was a gust of wind that blew and hit our window against the wall, and that little glass window broke. It took a bit of time before the landlord fixed it. What I did was take a temporary measure by covering that open space with newspaper. I just taped it around the window pane. And then one night we went to sleep. And 1 hour into having gone to sleep and the lights are off, everyone is in bed, my children are fast asleep, I had the kitchen tap running. So I woke up, went to the kitchen, and found that someone had peeled back the newspaper that I had used for protection and just put their hand right into the kitchen and just turned the tap on. I was scared. It was not funny. I needed to move from that place. I felt really horrified, and there was nothing to do. If you're enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe, and feel free to share the link. Some of the experiences leave us feeling crushed and worthless, especially situations where you're not able to provide for your children. For example, maybe proper meals or just basic needs. I have experienced such lows where at times it is impossible to offer 3 decent meals to the children. You feel really defeated, you feel beaten by life. It is a very difficult place. But it is in that place, it is in that valley that I've also seen the hand of God. And so that has also, as much as it's in reality been the lowest point of my life, it has also been a very elevated place in terms of my faith to grow, because I have seen God care. I have seen him provide through strangers, through family, through friends, where someone just calls and says, I'm on my way. Are you at home? I'm on my way, coming to your house. Please don't leave. And then an impromptu visit like that, and they come with shopping that can last 6 months, 1 year. Some products, like for example, right now there's a product I'm still enjoying, which was bought and brought to me last year, early last year, 2022. And so it is, every time I use that product, I remember that family and I bless God for them. And so as much as those are difficult times, I keep reminding myself that those are seasons and they come and go. But then it is at those moments that I make sure that I don't miss what God is doing in my life, because those are the same moments that I have actually used as stepping stones in terms of encouraging myself and feeling that I am not forgotten, that God continues to provide. He provides for those he cares for, in order not to forget what God has done. Because as much as the journey has been difficult, there has been a lot of blessings. What I've done in the recent years is to buy a book like this and just document and just record the things God is doing per year. And it becomes a place, like, this becomes our stone of remembrance, where we can go back and look at the year 2020 and say, look at where we were, look at what we were praying about, look at how God answered this. And as a family, we're able to sit around that and just worship God and know that he has sustained us and know that he has provided in many different ways, and just be blown away by his might and look at prayers which were never answered and still thank God for those, because at times we don't see why some prayers he answers by saying no, and from where we stand we think it is not fair, it is not right, God should have come through. But in his own wisdom, in his own knowledge, he's able to answer according to his will. And so therefore, for me, this becomes something that I hold on to dearly. I pray that it will become a family tradition, that my children, my grandchildren and great-grandchildren will be able to read this and see how their grandmother or their great-grandmother believed in God and trusted in him, as they're also encouraged to stay in Christ. While in this journey, God has also raised other people to make it easy for me. I think about 2 employers in my life. When my children were still little and things were very difficult at that time, this supervisor asked me to take a week off to just go and calm down. And this 1 week did not interfere with my annual leave. For me, that was favor. For me, that was healing. So when I think about such a person, I know that they were in my life at that point to help me stay sober. I also think about very recent employers, some 2 great gentlemen who actually allowed me to negotiate coming into the office 1 hour before the rest of the team came to the office, and to leave 1 hour before everyone else left. That was favor. When I think about it, I feel that I have not walked this journey totally alone, that there has been people who God has put along my path who have actually been used to help me parent a little more easily. These are employers who I would go to if I needed to run some errands for the children, if I needed to run to school for some meeting. They did not have any issues with that. And so when I think about that recent employer, I bless God for them, because I know they were a blessing in my life and over my children. This employer accommodated me when I had to bring my children to work in the evening as we get ready to go home. And this is a corporate firm. And so when I look at such people that God has put in my life, then I know that I have not forgotten, that he actually does care. And as I count my blessings, I appreciate and thank God for the relationship of co-parenting. It is a delicate one. It is a challenging one. It has its own ups and downs, but at least it is there. Yet because I know there are other parents, there are other single parents who do not have that even as a possibility. There are others who cannot agree on something, they cannot work together, and yet there are those who also just simply cut ties. And so for me, that also becomes a place where I can turn to God and say thank you. As imperfect as it is, I say thank you. There are numerous other experiences we go through, difficult, easy, blessing, joy, and all that. But for me, the knowledge that God has cared for me since I was born and for the children, and that he continues to care even now, he continues to carry us, is where I draw my strength to know that it is well, as long as I continue to walk in righteousness and please him.